Okay, before I get into this video here, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Jason Black, the Black Authority, also known as TBA, Professor Black Truth, Mr. Superboy 223, and Torian Rain. Pretty much, I've been listening to these gentlemen for quite a little bit of time now. More later on, Mr. Superboy 223 and Torian Rain, thanks to Professor Black Truth, and I can highly recommend you subscribe and listen to these guys. These guys seem to be bringing awareness to the people, letting them know what's going on out there, and all of them doing their part to make sure that we are able to survive and actually thrive in the system of white supremacy. In fact, and that's what Professor Black Truth always said it pretty much best. I don't do requests. This is by his quote. I don't do requests. If you feel like there's some issues you need to talk about, you need to do your part and speak out on things that you feel that need to speak out that can bring awareness not only to us, but to help us prep and survive in the system of white supremacy. So I took it upon myself to go ahead and start record. I feel like things need to actually be recorded. So things need to be documented, especially because this is not a very good time for African Americans. Not that it ever was from the time we get off the slave ships, but thanks to good old President 45 actually getting elected, a lot of white supremacists have been a lot more emboldened than ever before, and it's a very dangerous predicament for all of us around. Anything can happen to us at any time. You got some black folks out here who just will say, as long as it's happening me, I get through the day, I'm fine. They want to hide from the white supremacy. When the truth of the matter is, you're in the war whether you want to be or not. Either you're going to be on the sideline and be slaughtered, or you're going to actually try to fight. And like I said, if I had to make a choice, I'd rather fight and die than live on my knees. That's just period, point blank. And like I said, this is pretty much inspired me to go ahead and start doing some videos of my own. And I definitely do plan on doing this regardless. So definitely want to give a shout out to those gentlemen, especially Torian Rain. He kind of put the fire to say, just go ahead and just put yourself out there. Pretty much the topic I want to talk about is a person named Demario Jackson. For those who are not familiar with this guy, who this guy is, and I certainly didn't know who he was until I started hearing the news about it. This person is on a TV show that was called Bachelor in Paradise on ABC, which is based off the reality TV show The Bachelor. Let me go ahead and preface by saying this. I'm not really a reality type show dude. Well, I haven't watched reality TV in years. The last reality TV show I really watched was Temptation Island. That came on Fox way back in like 2001, 2002. So it's been a long time. Just not really into the whole reality TV thing. But I felt compelled to really speak on this issue. Pretty much with Demario Jackson, this was actually a black man that was a contestant, or maybe possibly the lead. I'm not sure. Again, I don't watch the show on Bachelor in Paradise. Now, I've never seen a situation where a black person was actually the lead on a reality TV show. Matter of fact, there was a situation just happened a little while ago with a black bachelorette, and shit just went left like you wouldn't believe. And everybody called it, but I wasn't surprised. Everybody called on this. That's when it's black women, white supremacy looking at them as either a notch in the belt or something to have, and they can treat however they want. It wasn't a surprise how it turned out from the get-go. And I just can't really say I was surprised by it. So in this case, now we got a black man who's the lead in this TV show. So what does that mean? It pretty much means shit's gone left. So we'll go ahead and get to how exactly this turn happened. There was a contestant. One of the contestants on the show was named Corinne Olympius. I hope I pronounced the name right. That's exactly how it looks. Hopefully I got that right. It honestly doesn't really matter at this point. Pretty much in a nutshell, my understanding was she might have got a little either high or tipsy. I can't recall if it was high or tipsy. Pretty much her and Demario Jackson, they fooled around, did some things, and there was even some oral sex, oral sex, I think cunnilingus, whatever you want to call it, and that situation occurred. Now, unbeknownst to Demario Jackson, good old Corinne Olympius, being a stand-up woman that she is, neglected to tell him that she had a boyfriend back home. So you can already see where this is already going. And I guess this is where the cowardice and part of her comes on. And she's saying, let me use my whiteness to try to get myself out of this situation. So pretty much, she pretty much made it say that she was drugged before this whole oral sex situation took place. Needless to say, you already know how it is. It doesn't take much for a black man to get blamed for anything. And unfortunately for us, it's not a matter of innocent to proven guilty. It's guilty to proven innocent. And then even when you find innocent, you're still guilty in their eyes. You can ask a couple of people that can test for that. But going on further, didn't neglect to tell them. Now, as far as I'm concerned, her boyfriend, and I want to make sure I got his name correctly here, her boyfriend, Jordan Glachinski, as far as I'm concerned, either he's a sucker and a simp, or he was in on this whole ordeal to try to cash out, and we'll get to why I feel this way in a second. But pretty much, she wanted to save face. She accused Demario Jackson of rape, and again, just the sheer allegation of that, even if you're innocent, that can totally fuck up your life completely. Which, from my understanding, what Mr. Superboy 223 mentioned, that he actually lost his job behind this situation, all because of this alleged rape. Now, I will give Demario Jackson credit for this. The smartest thing he did was have everything recorded. That was the smartest thing he ever could have did. Unfortunately, I will get to later on why I'm upset with him later on too. But pretty much ABC does its quote-unquote investigation into the whole matter. Pretty much try to find what they can, but Demario Jackson's saving grace is actually recording everything. That was his saving grace. Now, this woman hired a high-powered attorney, which I'm thinking to myself, what kind of money is this woman making? Superboy 223 even mentioned about this. I'm like, if you're on the contestant on this show, how the hell can you even afford this lawyer, this high-priced lawyer, to go after him? So that tells me foul play already. She was already looking to cash in on this whole ordeal. Or maybe her boyfriend and they were in on it together. She's like, okay, let's see what we can get out of this and put this nigga quote unquote under the bus. That's pretty much the mentality that happened here. But through it all, ABC wants to do its investigation. So now I'm looking at the producers of the show very carefully. Now they want to go through a whole bunch of things for the contestants to make sure the producers do some certain things so there's no issues like this happen again. First thing they want to do is they want to check luggage for all illegal drugs. That's the first thing that they want to get done. This is all according to TMZ, by the way. Whether legal or not, they want to check luggage. So you didn't think about checking luggage or taking these precautions before this happened? That's not very smart minds. Then on top of that, they now want to do a 2-drink max minimum, the 2-drink max per hour. So there's some allegations of this happening can't even come around again. And then on top of that, the producers must approve of testers to get on. Now this baffles me of all of them because they had to been approved to get on the show before. Why the hell were you not doing that before? Makes absolutely no fucking sense, but you already know how this goes. So pretty much to cut a long story short, Demario Jackson actually gets free and clear of this whole situation. He's done with the show, and that's pretty much where it goes from there. Now, as for Corinne Olympia's boyfriend, Jordan, he still says, I'm sticking with her. Now, what kind of sucker-ass motherfucker do you got to be to want to stick with a female like that? If she can do this to him, what makes you think someone down the line this can't happen to you? I mean, how dumb do you got to be? Unless you were probably in on it. And even then, I still wouldn't want to be around a woman like this. This bitch was scandalous. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. I'm going to call it like it is. This bitch was scandalous as a motherfucker. And potentially could have ruined Demario Jackson's life. And let's not act like it hasn't been affected, because I'm pretty sure it has been. Again, my understanding is you lost your job behind all this. Was it can you wait for the investigation? He said, no, we're going to go ahead and let you go there, buddy. We're just going to go ahead and let you go. So I feel bad for him in that instance. But now here's the point where I can't feel sorry for this guy. Because after all this whole situation, and again, if your preference is you want to date outside your race, do what you do. But regardless of what race the female is, you should be moving correctly regardless. You should really be peeping out motives no matter what. That's how I know. Where was his friends to sit here guide him through this shit? Where was his dad? That's what I don't understand of this whole thing. How could you not move correctly? But according to TMZ, he's now quote, and you know how TMZ does. Basically, they want to capture him now that he's been cleared of sexual assault. So now Demario Jackson says, I'm going to go out and go party. With some hot chicks, according to what they're saying in the tag. And the chicks were white. So what that tells me at the bat is this man didn't learn a single fucking lesson to everything that happened. Again, if it's his preference, that's his business. Just move a little bit better. Going out partying at the situation, knowing how some white people feel about us, whites as a whole feel about us, you're going to go ahead and jump back in the fire after you just got out of that situation. That's not exactly smart in my eyes, and I'm really looking at you crazy. If I know I got he should have learned the situation from OJ. Maybe it's not so crazy, but he should have learned OJ and just got low. He didn't get low. He said, I'm going to go right back out there and party. It's like he didn't learn a lesson. In fact, I kind of want to put a parallel. There's a parallel to all this. Not how scandalous these women can be. Let's go to this parallel. There's a show on HBO that I watched. It's gone off the air now for like 2 or 3 years now. It's called Boardwalk Empire. Sardisha Shimi is Nucky Thompson, which is based off of real life eunuch Nucky Johnson, he was basically a mayor of Atlantic City during the Prohibition era. We'll go ahead and just very good show if you haven't watched it. But in season 4, there's a character named Dunn Pernsley. I can't remember the actor's name in real life, but if you watched Luke Cage on Netflix, he played Diamondback, so that'll give you an idea who that actor is. Dunn Pernsley worked for a character named Chalky White. In a nutshell, basically what Chalky White actually ended up getting a club from Nucky Thompson after helping Nucky Thompson get through a whole ordeal with Jip Rossetti. This was back in season 3. I won't go spoil the whole show for you. You should watch the show anyway. But pretty much in a nutshell, Dunn Pernsley's working with Chalky White. There's this couple that comes in from New York that's working with a character named Dr. Narcisse. White couple. Pretty much Dunn Pernsley's minding his own business, doing his thing. And this white woman actually comes up and starts flirting with him. And keep in mind, this is the Prohibition era, so you already, this has been going on. White people have this little fetish like, well, fuck a black person, but we won't even really say anything about it. And then this is during the 30s here. But during the 20s, excuse me. But pretty much in a nutshell, the woman starts flirting with him. She pretty much give him the green light, like, yo, you can get this, you can smash. So pretty much in a nutshell, she goes back to the hotel room with her, starts making out with her, getting ready to do what he does. The husband comes into the room with a gun in his hand. Now, pretty much in a nutshell, Dunn Pernsley's in a pretty bad spot. You're balls deep in his wife, and he's got a gun pointed at him. But pretty much in a nutshell, guess how scandalous this situation was. And this was crazy. The man who had the gun to him was like, what are you doing with my wife? And yada yada, this, that, and the fourth. Pretty much the guy is a cuckold. And this is a thrill that this couple does with people, getting black people trapped in a situation. And forces Dunn Pernsley to have sex with his wife while he watches jerk off. Some crazy shit, right? And he used to say with Dunn Pernsley, as soon as he had a chance, he got the drop on him and actually ended up killing him in front of her. Unfortunately, this goes and leads to a whole chain of events. And pretty much gets Chalky White into a whole bunch of shit and ends up losing everything. I don't want to spoil the whole season for you, but that's pretty much what it led down to. And this brings back to what I was talking about. Getting with the wrong person and not know how to move and being scandalous they could totally fuck up your life and fuck up those around you. And this is why I'm irritated why Demario Jackson didn't learn that lesson. He should pretty much watch that or learn from the situations from OJ or anybody else who got their quote-unquote nigga moments. He should have been paying attention to it, and I feel like he didn't learn the lesson. So I got a feeling he's going to get ready to go through this again, and I'm not going to feel at least too much sorry for him. I can't. After all that, again, if you're going to go out there, just move better, especially after you went through a whole deal. Just move better, lay low, pretty much reinvent yourself, so to speak, and learn how to move a lot more better so these situations like this don't occur. You got to be careful who you lay up with. That's pretty much my thoughts on this. You guys go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll definitely see you around the next time around.